Um, so yeah, today it's gonna be just a lot of little detail work on this. I want to add ramp flaps. I want to add uh, there's a switch that needs to go on top of this ramp. I believe there needs to be some holes around here for plastic mounting and things, ramp flap mounting. I might want to readjust this ramp. I've been thinking about it a little bit. And if I can make this ramp fully curved instead of like curved straight curve, I think that would be better. I want to adjust this ramp so it's not all this weird jaggy thing because the way things are mounted now, I can take this mount point, move it up here, take this mount point, move it over here a little bit. I do have this mount point already, and I can adjust mount points down over here. I need to add in a mounting post on this ramp and make cuts accordingly with these plastics. So it's just a lot of little heli type of work that just needs to get done. Wasn't a second. Um, I'm thinking about this target because I have in my cart a 3D target, and I much rather use the 3D targets. Oh, I know why this looks wrong because I'm still in perspective mode. Hey, that looks a lot. That looks a lot better. Wow. Okay. I'm toying with this, making this into a 3D target, kind of like all these other ones that are on this game. But that also means this bops out a little bit more. I'm not sure what that's going to do. I also need to think about the deflection angle of that. So if I make this 3D target and I have to pull it out a little bit more because of this device down here, uh, that will mean like this could get clipped coming off of this orbit, maybe, possibly, maybe not. Let's play with this first as the first thing to get my toes back into this. I want targets. This is a square. Bottom. And then let's see where this fits in. This out of the way. Where this fits in if I rotate it, roughly the same angle of there. Obviously, I'll make this a little more accurate final placement. If I put this here, it kind of barely fits. Well, actually, I think that will fit right where it is. And if I make the hole just a tickle bigger, it's not going to be that big of a deal. All right. So what are the alignments on this? I need to know what's mated to what. Like, what is the source of truth of things? This guy here. What are your mate? Your parallel that. So it sounds like that's the source of truth. So if I take the front plate of this and mate it with the whole basket. Basket being in the way, it does not. Now I can get to it. This can be the source of truth for this, and it's parallel. Good. Now, if this comes right up there, yeah, I can pull this forward a little bit, and then that's still not a big deal. Okay, that that makes me happy. And then this will be a square. This was more of a rectangle, wasn't it? Um, Matter? I don't know if that matters because as a square, I don't know if that matters. Does it look like it? Yeah, with the rubber there, that's not going to matter. I'm going to put some rubbers on these. I believe I have the right size rubber already. Rubbers. I'll post. Is that what plastic post? That's what the couple of these rubbers in there. Need this to be centric with. I'm gonna kind of have to place this and then fix it, but oh well. I'm sure there's a better way to do it. Someday I'll figure it out. At least you. There, you down there, you. Oh, I guess that's fine. All right. So those are those rubbers. Let's fix rubber rings. See what this looks like now over there with that target spot. Yeah. So I think that's fine. I don't see any issue with that really. Oh, that's not supposed to be. Not with that ring. Get rid of that. That's that. These two posts loop around each other, but that ring does go there, and it is going to be a double ring eventually. Yeah, I think this will be fine. Rubber out of the way. Finish up this target. So this target now, for sure. Um, this is no longer elongated. This is 1 in 1/8. What are you? You made it with? You're fixed. I don't want you fixed. This is gonna then come out a little bit longer. You're equal with something. Or you have a dimension. Make this 768. This thing 760. So it kicks out a little bit more. Bit more. So that's peeking out. That edge is not going to be a problem. That makes it easier for you to hit with this flipper. So I'm not concerned about that really. Um, yeah, I think that'll be fine. I think that'll be fine. So this is going to be translucent yellow. Sides to it. Edit. Oh. Transparency, I have it as 4 for everything. Okay. Oh, come on now. Yeah, maybe to try this. Maybe this can save it. Um, Continue. Go call stat. Come on. I really don't want to lose this. Damn it. I think it's dead. Damn it all. Damn it. All right, let's redo this again. At least I know what my conditions are here. Effective. Top down. Let's the inside. Let's pull this target out of the way. This target way. This device hole comes fixed on this side, unfixed on this side. 7/16, 1/1/8. Centered a little bit more here. A not, but what do you? I don't know what it. I'm not gonna waste my time with that rubber right now. I just want the target. Take target rectangle target square front mount mate here. This thing parallel target. This thing pull it up so it's like there. For target, fix this. Put this in targets. Targets. And now that that's saved, in case this crashes again because it doesn't want to do aerial properties, I can appearance yellow 0.4. Okay, so that was redone. Only thing I didn't put back there was the rubber. This needs to become a double post anyway, so I'm not worried about it. All right, so that was step 1. Step 2, there's a through post? Yeah, that's a post. So let's add a stud in there for that. This is under posts, metal, stud post. Here, at 8. Here. Oh wait, no, that's not a post-it. That's why I didn't do it. That's an actual screw. Never mind. That's why I didn't do this. That's an actual screw. Do I don't think I needs to be hardware. .32 1.25 inch. You have that. This is a pan. Yeah, all right. Put a pan head here. Just at least that way I know what's supposed to be there. No. Paint that into here. Here, where's flat? Did that go here? Then paint that. Paint that. Now the screw's at least there, so I know it's supposed to be a screw and not something else. I think there's supposed to be screws here somewhere, maybe. That one's not a screw. This does need to be a screw, though. Let's close this. I need that ramp assembly. Right. This needs to be a pan head, not an acorn. Just everywhere. Eight. This. All right, so that's that screw. Correct. That should be the same that side now. And it is. Good. I'm gonna create a sub-assembly funsies. Assembly. This is gonna be post double ring. And I'm gonna put 2 rubbers on there, and then this is just gonna be a dual rubber ring post because I need this in a bunch of spots. I think of at least 3. I might as well do this, and then this will take care of all of that in one setting. here. Like, yeah. And actually, I can probably that'll help other rubber ring trick with, again, just to help center. Then I can more easily position the height of this here, there. Gonna get saved. Assemblies. Post double ring rubbered. Here, so this needs to go into 3 different spots. Post. Post. Just create. Save it in here by accident? Where the hell did I just save that thing? Alright, hang on. Where the hell is this thing? Okay. I need one one over there. I need one there. One in the middle there. And this is going to cause an assembly problem because I'm going to delete previous posts. That's okay. I can fix it. I wanted to mate that one on this surface. There we go. Used to mating on the bottom of the playfield that I forgot. Mate properly. Think of. Now all of these posts. You. Oh, here you go. Big question is, does that one actually? Okay. That means. But these. This post goes. this post goes onto this thing. This side this post goes. Okay. This goes up. Should mate. Fun. Select post. That should mate the bottom of this. Bottom of this. Barely. Right onto the. Okay, and now playfield needs to be fixed. I'm missing two associations. This associate. Edit the sketch. Association. Brought back. This association be brought back here. Alright, so now these are double ring like I actually intend them to be. I can see exactly what the bump outs are going to be like. This one isn't going to be double ring. I'll leave this double ring here in case I figure out some other spot I want to put it. Problem here. Why won't you let me think? I don't know what the program was. Okay, 632 head needs to go into hardware. Right ramp return. It needs. Close it. Oh, why is it double clicking? Close it. The right ramp return needs to go in. Two of these double ring posts need to go into posts. This double ring post, maybe I'll just delete it. Just delete it. And these plastic ramps finally go into done. Okay, let's see what I've done now. In there the way expect. That needs to have post. I think thing is lower than, so I should put in stud post right there, and those will be on the same level. This does need to have a stud. I'm gonna have a piece of plastic on this, so I will need a stud. This into here. Okay, now since I'm at posts, might as well grab this thing now. This height from the playfield to here. That is 1 3/4, so a 1 3/4 inch post. One 1/4 inch. One at 8/30. 1/4 inch. Guess I can make a 6. Take this one. All this 1.5 632. Screwed this. And this is supposed to. I think that's what these posts are actually supposed to be, technically. This is kind of supposed not what I modified these are. Yeah, I kind of want to fix these up. They're definitely not supposed to be that large. Supposed to fit in a 1/4 inch tool. Guys, just be easy. Size the this one part and then oh, I know what it's because I have this open. Close this. There we go. 5, 5. Points. All right. Let's see. 2.75. All right. All right. That takes care of all those. Now I'll reopen this. Everything's gonna kind of rejigger. All right. All right. I think that's gonna be more accurate ultimately. Okay. Now I need that 1 3/4 inch post I just as well. I also need the washer number 6, then post standoff 62, 1 3/4 inch. Now I could add this as part of the ramp assembly, but I don't think I want to because not every ramp is necessarily going to have this post on it. Like, case in point, the ramp on the right side, which I'll go to in a minute, is not going to have one of these on. Here. I feel. Then mate this hole into there. That. Good. Fits nice perfectly on there. Awesome. Now, obviously, there I need to cut a little bit base here. Let's go to this plastic. Go to mounting through. So this plastic needs another little round cut. Here. Obviously, this is not going to be associated with that. It's just fixed, and it's going to what, 3/8 inch? Is that? Oh, I'll make it. Give it a little bit more space. Nothing wrong with it. Then next level, this one. Cut extrude. And here, 1/2 inch. Doing. This is fixed. This is going to be 1/2 inch. Okay. Now that has plenty of space for both of those to go through. And then finally, this sheet here, that's got a cut extrude right here. I think what I want to do is pull that fillet up. And I'm going to, I'm going to do a tangent. Do a tangent from here here across there. Make this like 5.5 sounds good. And this is going to trim out. Sure, this root. And that fillet is going to need to fix. I'm missing that edge, but I have this edge. Oh. Okay, so now that has plenty of space for that post to fit in through this little gap. No problem. See right through there. I mean, there's obviously layers that need to be taken into account with this. Upper one doesn't even need to, does it? No, it does, because it's going to have a screw. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm not doing it. But that said, I do need to add a screw, so that's under hardware. 632 bolts. This in here. Be a hex screw. I don't want this to be a hand head. That does nobody any good up here. Let's mate this into the hole. Let's get this mounted onto the plane. Like, see? That's all set. Now that's mounted in. And now I need to cut a hole right there. Now that we have this go back to through holes. Or device holes, I mean. And this device hole is 1/4 inch like everything else because it's not. have that associated with that. Size it. This. Done. Now we got a post hole. Perfect. All right, so that was an additional hole I needed. Another hole that I need is going to be... Let's save this. Another hole that I need oh, I didn't save it when I moved these things. This stuff goes into ramps, goes into hardware, goes into offs, this goes into hardware. All right, now that's safe. All right, two other posts, or two other holes I need are going to be for the ramp flap up here and the ramp flap on this. So I'm just going to eyeball what those can be, and then I'll make the flaps themselves. It's going to be a little tricky. I'm kind of guessing a little bit, but I guess I can make... Well, no, I can judge it based on this hole and the through hole bottom. That'll be a little tricky. So back to device holes. I'm gonna add one. How about here? Place, make them equal. And then this should be fixed. Oh, I want to move that around. And the one down over here, again, I'm going to fix this. They really don't want that moving around. I know that's fine. The one over here is going to be down this way. Flap comes all the way down. This are now going to be... So that's kind of an eyeball of what's going on here. To make the flap, I can probably make the flap based on the bottom and then have a curve. Yeah, I'll do that because that'll be a rough close enough. So now I'll work on this back flap first. New part. This is going to be called flap back. So this flap is going to be for this back ramp that kind of loops around. File. Go into ramps. Okay. Neat. Move that All right, so now for this is gonna come off that. Kind of come. Oh, it's gonna have like a slot from here to here. Size can this go about like that, I guess, because it can't. I mean, I can always move this over a little bit. That's not a big. But whatever this width is. Five. All right, no, it'll be 0.5. That'll be fine. So this is gonna be 0.5. Um, break that. Let's fix this here. That. Fix this here. And features extrude 1/4 of an inch. Next, this needs to come basically to here. Approximate, yeah, kind of there. One and 3/8. One and 5/6. Food to surface here. At a fillet in here. This is gonna be a 0.25-inch fillet. Gonna add a fillet over here. Probably needs to be a 1/16-inch fillet. About right. That top down again. That does need to extend quite a bit because I am gonna fillet a lot of this. No, I can just make this flat and it'll curve up. That's fine. Just make this flat and it'll do another sketch. So this there. This this Obviously this angle is wrong, so I'll have to fix that angle. This can come with this. Hi, Andrew. Across here. This side should be a little higher. Like that, I 1/8, 1/8. Yeah, this range. So this more diagonal. Surface, bottom. Yeah, I'm working on this right now. I'm trying to catch this up. Been a few days since I've had a chance to work on this. All right, let's. So this angle needs to change a little bit. This side's fine, so I'm gonna fix this in place here. This side is all right. 1/5. Let's. Oh, I want this to kind of stay. Just want this. One. 7/16. Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right. All right. Here we go. Now, yeah. Now this can come up a little bit. This should cover this area with a lot better now. All right. Yeah, that's better. Now this first fillet I can make a little bit bigger. Make this into 8s probably, which is just make sure that this is more secure and stronger. Also I can make this one probably 1/8. Yeah, that'll work better. That looks better. All right, finally, these need to be holes in the middle here. They should be 3/16. That's big enough for these things to go through. Or, you know what? Just for fun, let's make it 7/32. A little bit bigger. Attached outside of the fine there. Doing that. I want to base side into the no. Concentric. Cool. All right, so there's flap number 1. Now, obviously, this thing is going to go up onto this ramp, but for simplicity's sake, I'm making it. That bends down. That actually, it might actually need to be a little bit longer. Why are you associated with? Oh, it's because I get it. I get it. Here, this is all right. There. All right, I am going to pull this out a little bit more. So there's nothing wrong with making the flap a little bit longer, just to ensure that it stays on the thing. Okay, and then on this side, obviously I don't need a a big post like this. So do I have an 832 floating around? Oh no, actually this is what I can do. So I need a place to mount plastic, or to mount the plastic over there. This is what I was thinking. So if I have that there, and this can act as kind of a washer, then I can take a regular plastic post here, like one of these thin plastic posts as a standoff, because I'm going to need a couple of these dotted around, which, I'll probably end up 3D printing these, since it doesn't need to be anything fancy per se. It's onto, and this hole mates this hole, and now some might be curious why I'm using a stud type post rather than a piercing post. This ramp would need to be taken on and off a whole bunch of times, so if I use a piercing post, the wood under here is just going to get chewed up like crazy, so it's just better and safer to put a stud on here. That way you can easily take the stuff apart without worrying that you're going to destroy the playfield and it won't have any bite later. So there's that. Have that post there. That's where plastic can be mounted. That. All right, and let's save. Something that needs to happen with this little piece. Ramps, apps. This guy should be blue. I think what I did for that was medium gloss blue. This is blue spring steel. Okay. Okay, one flap done. 3 more to go. Now it's blue, yay. Like these other ones. Yeah, now obviously I'm not making the curve. I don't think I need to make the curve with this because I know basically where the ramp's going to go and how it's going to look. And it's just easier to model these things flat and just let it curve when it attaches. At least that's my opinion. Okay, so now I need to create another part, and I'm going to make that part there. Third part. Storage. Top. 8. This. Can Okay, this is gonna be called uh, ramp up inner loop. Yeah, I guess. And this is also going to be saved externally. Ramps, flaps. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now this flap, I need to make this and move this. Eight. Uh, this is going to be kind of like right over here. Probably good enough. And we'll fix this. Good component. Sketch. And basically repeat the same idea. So I can make a slot between these 2 points as my base. And I have a little bit more space to work with, so I can make this slot a little bit bigger. The other one, I didn't have a hell of a lot of space. And like last time, I'm just going to fix these points because I don't want them associated with anything per se, since it's outside of the scope of what this is. And the width of this, 5/8. Well, that's going to cut into the 0.5. So it's, I guess, a little bigger than, or maybe it's the same. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Here's extrude 1/4. Sketch. This is going to come up. This. This is going to come up. This. Curve. This can be pretty straight for what. This flap might even be able to just go straight up like this. Across this. I mean, this flap, yeah, this flap can probably be something. That'll be fine. The ball won't get offset down, so it'll be yay. Here, that will be this big here. Yeah, I mean, let's try this. The worst that can happen is it's slightly wrong. I need to redo the flaps. Oh well. The distance here is 2 1/8, which is pretty nice. Add some plays around here. These can be 0.25. Okay. extrude to the surface. Here, and then a couple smaller fillets. So this inner fillet, wait, hey, zoom, zoom. Inner fillet might only be it's gonna be 1/8 probably, right? What does that look? That's a little much. How about 3/32? That looks better. And then on this side, come on. On this side, it can be probably 3/16. Yeah, I think that flap will work okay. Based on where holes are. Because that hole is right there, and so this flap is right in the middle of that hole, so that should be okay. Should be okay. Save this, and let's do the same thing I did with the other flap. It's going to be easier to drill the holes here, so let's sketch those two holes, through hole it here and here. These are equal, and they're going to be 5:30, I think. 32. Oh, 5:16. Was it 5:32? Because it was no, 7:32. 32. That's what I said. Because 3/16 is the exact size, and 7/32 is like one tick bigger than that. Now, in reality, I mean, this might need to come sliced down like this. Because whatever um, shape this is, really this upper shape should be to ensure that it's flat. Reason being, I think this side right here is going to be raised up. I think that side's going to, when it bends, I think it's going to raise that side up. I don't know. I'll leave it like that for now. And then this needs to be blue. And that should take care of that. That's flap number 2. Kind of fits right up there. This hole is also going to have a post for the plastic to sit on. So I need stud, and I need a plastic. Where is that hole? Way over there. Okay. Let's mate this with this post. I don't feel like rotating all over the place, so that'll be good enough. Then let's mate this hole with this hole. Uh, let's mate this post with. Oh, did I screw the pooch? Not see this. Oh, I can. Barely, but I can. This the other way. And then let's mate this hole with this post. And this is kind of perfect because now I can go to this plastic, the top, go to this plastic, and edit it. And add a post hole right here. So in this case, yeah, because I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to put this right. Yeah, so this will be fine, and this helps hold it in place. But let's make this a slot. Slot can be 3/16 long. Let's make this hole a little bit bigger than normal. So let's make this not shape it based on this. Know that. Let's make this 3/16 also. So there's going to be a little bit of wiggle room that I can work with. Oh, right there. Fix that. Be vertical. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to need to shimmy things around a little bit to make sure everything fits right. And yeah, actually make this. Probably doesn't need to be 3/16. Probably just need to be 1/8. That'll be enough of a shimmy to allow it to get on okay. Alright, cool. Now that plastic has some place to mount to. Yeah, so what I was saying earlier about the other ramp not having a post hole or a post mount, this guy is not going to have a post mount. Instead, I'm going to use this ultimately for scenery. I can have plastics or something kind of screwed into that hole, and that'll work out perfectly fine. Oh, this, I didn't save the, oh my god. I didn't save those two rings either. Stupid me. Okay, get to that later. I'm less concerned about that kind of thing. This post, stud. These two things go into posts metal. These two plastic posts go into post plastic. The ramp flaps live there for now. All right, now these two ramps here, technically, just a ramp. This really should become an assembly now. And on that assembly, I can then make those two ramp flaps, right? And that's probably something I need to do now because I do want to send those ramp flaps. No, the soda. Right, so let's delete two. Delete you. Now this is complaining about something. See what's going on here. This complaining about this. What is it complaining? What is wrong? Mentions relation to geometry that doesn't exist. I get that. What geometry doesn't exist anymore? Oh, this. That's fine. This can be fixed. I know what this is. And yeah, that this is going to be fixed. I know what this is going to be too. That fix the problem? It does. Okay. All right, let's create a couple assemblies. File new assembly. This is going to be called entry ramp. Call this entry ramp. Save as entry ramp or launch ramp. New directory launch. And this is going to go launch ramp. This is going to come into here. Save that again. That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be left orbit. There, I'm going to create a new assembly. Okay, be called left orbit ramp. Orbit. Left orbit. Okay. Orbit. SLD. And this has this in here. Okay. Now let's put these assemblies back in here, and I can work in the assembly file. Left, or the launch ramp. Launch ramp. At bottom of this. Then gonna come in here. Fit right in there. Sure that this is middle over here. Where's this hole? Hole should be right there. That's how that all lines up. Why is this plot not quite? This back to what was that? Device holes. Let's take this, move this to where it should actually. I guess I made an adjustment at one point with that. Okay. Then on this side over here, same idea. That's the left orbit ramp. Where is it? All right, let's mate this onto the play field. Then I can make that into that orbit slot. This goes up over here. Basically right into here. And fully align this. I align it based off of this thing down here. That should go there. And that lines up there. And let's fix this. All right, so now these two ramps are as assemblies. I can take these ramp flaps and I can just put these ramp flaps also just to up. Good. Resave this. All right, those are now back where they're supposed to be. And I can go into those assemblies and actually work on those assemblies. So launch ramp is the first thing. And I need to add flaps. That's what I'm doing here. And these flaps are going to be riveted on. Add a component, fetch, underline along here. I can make this based on the center. These holes are 1/8 inch because they're 1/8 inch rivets. Distance here should be just 7/8. What does 13/16? That's fine. 13/16 by 0.75. That'll be fine for that flap, I think. Here's extrude, cut through all. Okay. Now to make the flap. So the flap basically needs to cover this T-nut section down here and not really be any wider than this thing. It goes from here down to there. What is the top exactly of this? Oh, I think it would be easiest if I can. Yeah, I think it'll be easiest if I offset this top by here. Let's float this. Op mate with this, but it needs to be 1/2 inch. This happened. 0.5 inches. And before I forget, this needs to not be metric. So now that's half an inch from there. That makes making the ramp flap a lot easier. Ramp flap can now be on top of the assembly. Insert new part. Ramp flap entry part file. All right. Put this mate with top. Now the origin should be more down here. Let's just throw the origin down here. I mean, it doesn't really matter per se, but right there, good enough. Fix this. All right, now the top. Oh, well, now let's edit the component. Top. Sketch. This goes along here. This will be 1 1/1/8, which is about the width of that. So how about we make this just an inch? I mean, that's plenty for the ball to go. That's not because then these are gonna have to 1/1/16. 1/1/16. Okay. And this is gonna need to be aligned in the middle. Between these two things. Vertical line in there. Fix. Line in here. Fix. Okay. That's there. This ramp flap doesn't need to be that long down there. 1 inch is fine. Okay. Features extrude 164. Guess that should. Really? That's half an inch? That's not half an inch. What's going on? Wait a minute. Top. This top. Evaluate this to this. Come on, evaluate there. But it shouldn't be because that's 7 inch going down. Oh, all right. I mated that wrong. That's easy enough to fix. So this distance isn't from that. This distance should be um your ramp. Get rid of that. This should be like right onto here. This line here. That's what that should be because that's the line that's effectively equal to the okay. Yep. Yep. Now this makes more sense. Now this makes a lot more sense. That effectively goes right onto that. Okay. And then this can be um 15, 16. Yeah. 15, 16. Fine. Okay. Now I can go onto the side. I can make the rise. This sketch. Thank you. Here, all the way up to here. Back down. And this needs to be one. This and this need to be. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. All right. Let's not make you that. Let's make you here. And this be equal. And this and this can be perpendicular. That's fine. That's perpendicular. Perpendicular. Make this 7/8 inch or okay. There's extrude to surface. This one. Right. I don't want this necessarily to be associated onto that thing. I do want this to. Okay. Now, etch here. This should be associated this. And please. Here's. Why you won't do that? I guess I'll just have to guess. There. And both of these are going to be 1/8. This. Oh. They are vertical. This is 13/16, I think I said. 13/16 across. It's here to here, 7, sure. That's close enough. What I need. Features crude cut. Okay. And finally, I'm going to put a couple 1.25-inch fillets around the corners. What did I just do? Hide this. Go away. Um, all these little edges here. Easier said than done to grab a bunch of. 0.25 is going to be too much. Let's make this 3/16. All right, 1/8. I guess it'll be 1/8. What? Fine. That looks better. Hey. For this, I think I can set this blue in here. Actually, I'm not done with this yet, am I? Play these things. This is going to be 3, 5, 5-inch fillet on both sides. Effectively, will. Okay, now I can color this blue. That. I need a few rivets, or 2 rivets. They're hard rivet. 2. 2. Mate that to that. Choice of program. Choose from SolidWorks, Fusion, and Inventor. So, which one did you choose, Ryan? Sorry, I'm just seeing your. No, which one did you choose? Why? Oh, because it's not quite the right. Um. All right, I'm gonna need to read because the rotation isn't quite right on this, so it'll the mate doesn't want to quite work. But if I made it with this, and then I can mate surface with the rivet. Yeah, now that'll work. Same idea with the other rivet. I just need to break the previous mate or modify the previous mate to the flap itself. And then I can mate to the top. Select. Why did it take 4 times for me to select the thing? I missed it the first time, so I had to click it another 4 times. There's those rivets. Oh, that looks all nice and handy. Handy dandy. This is saved. When I load this into Pumpkin now, it should all line up perfectly. Question mark, maybe, hopefully. And huzzah, it does. Okay, now look. This is obviously not long enough. Or, wait, why is that so high? Hang on a second. Oh, because it's fit, yeah. Ramps. Float. Okay, now that shouldn't be as high. Yeah, now that's on there. Now I can fix it. All right, so this ramp flap is right on the playfield. Right here, right here. And it covers the hole that I want covered without any issues. And then this thing fits right in the bottom there without any major issues. I mean, there'll be a little bit of play going on here, but that's fine. So huzzah, that's another ramp flap. Add it in. Or the launch ramp. And then basically I do the same thing on this other side. This ramp needs that same treatment. This ramp's going to be a little trickier because it's not bent like the launch ramp is. So I'm just going to make an assumption, and the assumption will probably be kind of like how I made an assumption with the other ramps. So yeah, because it's a pain in the ass to make this curve and go down, I just made this flat, and I'm going to assume it's going to bend down without a problem. That said, here now, can I use that same flap? I'm just morbidly curious. I think I can probably use the same flap. I think I can use the same flap, so I think that's what I'm going to do. But not quite. Let's go to this entry flap, and I'm going to move this to left orbit. I'm going to rename this to ramp flap left orbit. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to convert it to sheet metal because this is select all bends and flatten it like that. Then I'm just going to use this part on that ramp. It's the same bloody part, effectively. That there. Take this. Put. Really? Oh. Oh. Put that there. That here. Mate onto here. pull a couple of these rivets in now anyways, just for funsies. This is going to come all the way down here. I mean, it's essentially the same with, I mean, the ball will not have any problems with. That fully covers all of that horse malarkey. There. So let's edit this. Sketch. Gonna have those two 1/8 inch holes like per usual. Just did that so I didn't have to keep clicking buttons. This is going to be, what was it? 13, 16. This is the 1/8. Down about there. So this is 5. No, the original one was originally 5/8. There's crude cut through this this one. Cut through all. Right? I should be able to make this without a problem on 8. Problems there. These guys can mate here, here, and they can also mate on top of the flap. There. There. All right. Save this. Now I'm morbidly curious. Can I unfold sheet metal, or is that going to screw everything up? And that kind of not do that. Anyways, good enough. Save. And this covers that this slot without any problems. So I don't think it needs to be extended anymore. And even if it does, it just extends the front ramp flap as well. So probably good enough to use it on both. Makes me quite happy. So technically speaking, I can probably combine those flaps and call it um, metal ramp flap, and then it can be shared on it. I'm going to keep it separate for now. It just makes it easier. The way it is. There's that. Now in Pumpkin, that ramp flap should show up over here. Everything gets loaded. And it did. I can see the sketch line. I'm definitely gonna want to hide that because that's gonna be, yeah, that flaps right there. So perfect. Perfect. This And let's hide that. Not screaming in my face. Okay, what's next to do on this? What other cleanup do I really need to do? I added the flaps. That was a biggie for. I added a mounting point for this plastic. I added a mounting point for this ramp. This the sheet metal needs to be extended. That's what I gotta do. And really, this is easy enough. I just need to um, extrude from here the component. Just need to extrude from here. Um, uh, let's convert entities, features, extrude. Um, extrude this an inch. Oh, not that. And I am going to modify this. Oh, that's a cut. I want a regular 1 inch. This is obviously not going to be quite accurate. So let's do another sketch. It's going to come up or this way back into here. This and this need to be perpendicular. I want this to be 1/2 inch. Extrude cut. Not extrude cut. Stop it. I want this to be extrude to surface. And I'm going to do a cut. I want this cut to kind of go in. Extrude cut. Cut needs to still kind of come up this way. Come up. Stop. Just I want it to be a 2.5 inch. Cut. 5 cut through that way. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Oh, why you did that? With that, you need to cut along. Not a real extrusion, is it? All right, I'm gonna need to open this in the next many things. What is this? This is the orbit, metal guide, outer or inner outer. Okay, let's go look at this on the plane. go in here. Let's look at, and yeah, just as I. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little different because I really need this to be kind of straight flat, and this is not that. I'm going to not do this curve that I did previously. All the way up. Rid of this. Okay, so that went. Oh, that's what that's doing. Yeah, so this cut extrude is going to go all the way straight up. Through all. I need to get rid of that. So what's actually going to happen is this I'm going to model straight going out, and then when I bring it to the playfield, I'm just going to curve it the way I need to curve it. Otherwise, it's just not going to model properly. So this can go away. This can go away. This can go. This cut's fine. These all can go away. Now I can take this thing. I rotate based on this, please. Oh, I can't. Fuck you, that's why. Okay, so now let's take this. Sketch. Down here. Make sure this is 1/8. This needs to be centric. And then let's features extrude. Actually, no, let's not do it this way. This is a dumb way to do it. I'm not gonna do it. A dum dum would do it that. And I refuse to believe I'm a dum dum. Let's go here. Let's sketch on this. Let's take this and bring this up like that. Down, let's bring it down to here. Here. See, by doing it this way, I can, instead of doing 4 different operations, I can just do a single operation. Frontal. The length from here to here. 2 inches is fine. Yeah, 2 inches is fine. I'll have to play this one by ear a little bit too. This from here to here is this from here to here is 5/8. That's fine. So it has a little bit of a pinch going up. And that should be good enough. Put a little bit of a fillet here. 1/16. So it's not sharp around there. Extrude up to surface. Okay. So now let's see what this looks like in the game or on the playfield, because it needs to extend a certain amount. And if it doesn't, then I just need to pull that out more. And lo and behold, this looks like it extends like right around there. That's about what's the actual hole here? Okay, the actual hole is this one right here. So that does need to extend a little bit more. Otherwise, it won't make it. So that's fine. Let's go to this part. Go to this thing I just made. Let's extend this instead of 2 inches. Let's say 5 inches. And that'll, without any problem, get in and around to where that needs to be. So that's good. And now that's a valid piece of sheet metal. That was another biggie that I needed to get. I think with that, I have enough stuff set up that I can probably do another cut. Get the holes around there for these things. Oh, I don't have. Oh, I do have the hole for that. I got holes for that thing. Still, yeah, I think I might be at a point where, and plastics around here, like I can just figure out where that is and screw it in into the wood without a problem. I'm not worried about. Oh, I wanted to modify this ramp. That's right. So I wanted to change this. So let's put it this thing. Extrude is not what I want. That cut extrude. Cut extrude is not what I want. This extrude is not. That is not what I want. This, I think, is. I have a whole bunch of different ways all over the place. Yes. So let's go to this one. Yeah. I want to just extend this straight up. Like there. This whole thing can go away. This can go away. This can go away. This can go away. And attached to here. This can be tangent there. This. Come up over this way more. By doing down over here. So if I get rid of this, if I pull this down, attach that there. Pull this, attach this here, then it's a single. Yes, I know I'm going to have issues. Oh, you didn't attach. Come on. I said attach. All right. I know this fillet is going to have a problem. I don't think, yeah, both of those fillets don't exist anymore, so this. I don't quite like how this looks. I think I do want to make this more parallel. This, fix that. Make this more parallel. Yeah, that'll look a little bit better. Add the space needed for that post, and I want to move that post up. That looks better. And this is also going to simplify cutting of this thing too, because I don't have all those weird little in cuts and everything. Now it's just one round piece. I don't need anything covering this. In fact, this piece of plastic here, or this piece of metal here, I'm going to modify that, and I'm going to take maybe even this same flange, and I'm going to put it across to cover the ball so the ball doesn't fly up. I don't foresee the ball needing to fly up and over, though. But so this post, I guess that's fixed. So I can here vice holes. Preventing this from moving. Vice holes. Edit it. Yes. So up right here. That can be like vertical to that. That's good. And then, yeah, I don't want to. I'm just gonna keep that going straight across. That should be fine. And that'll also give some mounting points that I could put scenery up on. Shift that right up to there. Perfect. I wanted a. I don't. These three posts right here will flatten this ramp out quite a bit, I think. And then this plastic and metal. I mean, the ramp sits on this plastic and metal. So I don't. So I think that can be used for like the exit flat section. I think. But I don't think I need a post in here, and I don't think I need posts along this wall. Maybe I need one along the left side. I'm pretty sure I don't need one on. Like I said, these three posts will flatten out this ramp pretty well at this point. If I only had these two posts on there, then the ramp could still be twisting. But this post keeps it pretty good. I might put one more post right just for funsies, right along the edge here. I might do that. I think I want to pull this post up a little bit more. I want to pull this post more over to here. I want this more kind of a triad, maybe. I guess the reason I had it across like this, because that is more directly across. Maybe that makes more sense. I'm just fiddling around with some things right now. This is part of the fun. If I put this over here now, I get in the way of where I want to put the scenery. All right, I think I'm going to need one more post over here. And then that will take care of this without a problem. So I'll do that. That's where those holes go. All right, this other ramp. I am very morbidly curious about something. I'm going to start another sketch and I'm going to see what happens. If this starts off here, like this ramp, it starts off that's a curve. That this is the inner curve. So here to here. Starts off there. And then you're gonna complain. You're not gonna tangent the way you do anyways. And if I have a vertical not there. I have a vertical here. And I take the tangent from here. Tangent arc, this one. Around here. Attach it. Now obviously this can't be there. This can stay here. How can that tangent arc? Oh, yeah. Tangent to there. So that's how that loops around. This across, not into the middle there. That's not what I wanted. Make this there, there. So these two are going to stay together. This one doesn't need to stay together like it is going to stay on there. And let's make another tangent from here all the way down to here. This tangent and this are also tangent. I mean, that cuts in a little bit more. And that's what that ramp curve looks like. I mean, that will work well. And then that's super swoopy. Wicked swoopy. And in reality, this isn't really changing. Well, this isn't changing the mounting point here at all. All it's doing is just making this smoother as it goes around. I mean, it already whips around that thing. This is just going to make it whip around even faster. Huh. This is really going to make that whip around really fast. Hmm. Decisions. And that basically goes right to there. So obviously this mounting point doesn't exist anymore. Instead, I need to have a mounting point right here, right over this screw, which is fine. I can use one of those whatchamacallit things. And a mounting point in, well, I can't put a mounting point in here because this is in the way. Um, I'm gonna think about this because I don't have a good place to mount it on this left side, and I don't want to change this how this orbit works. I think that's the crutch with it. I think that's the crutch with it. So I'm gonna save this as orbit ramp B B3 concept and just hide it. That way, if I think about it again in a couple weeks, it'll be there, and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is what I tried, and this is why it's the way it is. Now it could follow this contour more in theory, but I think this already kind of does that. It still comes down to a point of where can I mount it over here because it needs the curve. I might not be able to make that change. All right. Well, that said, I think probably playfield is ready for another cut. I really hope it is. Let's save this. I'm going to take a look at the playfield itself. Is this thing and gander at all the holes because I might notice that something's missing. Doesn't look like it immediately. It doesn't look like it immediately. Those are all the target holes. Those are the down post holes. Those are the ramp holes. All the dimples are in there that I can tell. Those are post holes, T-nut hole. Oh yeah, this hole is for the ramps which go into. I don't care about GI holes right now. Those are negligible for me. I guess the big question is, do I want this to be a wood block over here, or do I want it to be metal? And I guess I'm going to leave it as a wood block for this version. Because if it's metal, then really all I need to do is order one little metal piece. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple little metal pieces that I need to make adjustments to and reorder in March in time for April. And I do want this to be playable at Pintastic in April. So I don't really have much more time to fiddle around with this in this sense. And I did kind of twiddle my thumbs this week. I didn't not do a lot of work on it. I had other things I had to take care of instead. All right, I'm gonna call this probably good enough. Yeah, I'm going to call this good enough, and I think I'm going to cut this tomorrow. That'll be exciting. All right, so I need to prepare things to be cut. The ramps, I'll probably make this coming over the course of this week. I won't make it to my shop tomorrow because, and I might I might be able to make it to my shop next week to start assembling things. But with all the weather and weird snow, I might not have all the parts for like 2 weeks until like mid-February. Kind of sucks. But I think all the main pieces on this playfield are set and ready to go, or at least design wise, they're all set and ready to be made. Completeness, I might as well put the slingshot assemblies on here. And then I need to make these things with diagonal. So you're in the middle, out of the middle of the wood. Eights parallel this thing. Guide parallel, eight parallel this thing. Kind of in the right spot, and then I'll adjust. About there. That goes about there. These slingshots can be fixed and put into devices. Is there any other device that I'm? And you can see them like poking right up out. Not quite the right spot, but it's the idea. Cross. Are there any other major devices I'm missing? Well, I there's the rollovers, I suppose. Those four rollovers. I don't have any orbit rollovers labeled yet or added yet. Like I said, I think I want to do induction switches for those. Eddy sensors, induction switches, that kind of thing. The ramps don't have the holes marked for the posts. That's fine. I'm not concerned about that. I can work on those later on. Oh, this flange, I want that flange to be a blocker. And that flange doesn't need to be nearly as tall anymore either. Um, what's the distance from this line? That is normal distance of 1 inch. Yep. Which is awesome. So I can take this, I can raise it up 1/8 of an inch, and then put the plastic across, and then that'll be really 3/16 of an inch high, which is plenty high for, yeah, all right. But I do that. Save this, go back, because this is an assembly. That makes life really easy. That is the left orbit. Oh, that's not part of that. That's a metal guide. That's not the, no, okay. Not that metal guide. The metal guide, left orbit, outer. This thing. All right. Let's figure out for these. This is the extrusion. This I only want it to be 1/8. And then this be slightly different. Particular, getting close to dinner time. This is going to be 5/8. That, and this is not going to be two of these here and here equal. They're going to be 1/8. They're going to be parallel the main line, and they're going to be 0.75. No, they're going to be 3/8 apart. Let's start with that. I don't remember all the details of this other thing. So let's go to parts, plastics. No, it's not in parts, plastics. It's in ramps. Right ramp return. You popper reflect is, yeah. All right, evaluate this one. So from here to here is 3/8. From here here is 3/8. So this, take this middle, this, and I'm gonna put this in the middle here. Put this over here, and I'm gonna put this 3/8. There's gonna be a lot of 3/8 going. this thing. I'm going to make this 3/8. Chamfer, I'm just going to get rid of the chamfer. I'll sketch. This is not in the middle there. This should be in the middle from here to... Actually, yeah, no. It is in the middle there. The chamfer is going to... Oh, it can't. The chamfer... not going to include that. It's not going to include this. Okay, so that now has that more in the middle. I will add fillet. Here and here instead. And then let's take right reflect. Go to parts, plastics. This is going to be the left orbit reflect plastic. Go back to the playfield. That now adjusts itself once it loads in. Like, yay. Left orbit reflect plastic is going to go on top of this thing. This onto here, but the other way. Let's mate over here more. Mate these holes together. Hey. This hole in this hole. And hit rebuild. Come on. Hole in this hole. Why? Those most certainly can line up. Come on. Mate. This hole. Thank you. This prevents the ball. Probably flip this. Let's flip this the other way. No, we don't. I don't need to do that. I can just edit the unit. I can the fillet for a moment. Sketch. I'm gonna modify the sketch ever so slightly, anyways. I want this to come down across here more. I want this to be a little bit bigger. So this is going to be 0.25. And this is going to be 3. Then I'm going to extrude this up to surface here. Yeah. And now I'll fix all these fillets. I know it's missing two because I modified a couple things. That one. This corner. The, the bloody corner. Come on. That and that. Play right there. All right, so now this will prevent the ball from flying too high up. And this doesn't get in the way of the ramp or anything over there. It'll be perfectly fine. I think I want to center this more on this piece of metal. Just look a little bit nicer. And I'll probably separate those two holes a little bit too. Let's go to this cut extrude. Instead of it being offset like that, let's center it middle here. Oh, not vertical. Perpendicular. Perpendicular. And make sure that this is still in alignment with the middle of this. All right, and I want to separate these out a little bit more. I think that's going to make more sense. I'm going to make this 5/8. And yes, there will be problems. I get it. I know. Here. Cut. Not that cut. Regular extrusion will be 5/8. This cut be not 1 inch, but 0.75. Like that. Then I'm going to do a similar thing on the other side. It'll just look nice. From here, 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 here. This is no. Let's trim the here to here. 16. That added that. Now, of course, the fillets are complaining again. This one, and it's missing this one. I can add those back in. Pop down again. There's still some weirdness going on here. Oh, because that's not far enough out. It doesn't need to be that far out. Let's go to this cut first. Not that cut. This cut. So this, instead of 3/4, 7/8. Matter of finding basically the right. Yeah, that's about right. That's about it. Okay, so now that can be riveted on there. This is a nice piece of flat plastic. The ball won't fly out of the way there. This will ensure that parts. And really, this bloody thing needs to become a assembly again. So I'm not going to put rivets on that because I really should turn that into an assembly. Okay, so there's that lab. Again, I'm just trying to figure out all the little things needed before I send things out to get cut. The less big things I need to recut, the better. I think everything else is all right. All right. I think that's it for today, or at least for right now. I may be on later on tonight, preparing the playfield to be cut tomorrow. I may stream the entire cut if I can get a computer down there that can just aim and show. I I don't know. It'd be nice. It'd be cool, right? It'll take about 4 to 6 hours to cut the thing, and just to have that whole uncut raw stream of cutting. But all right, folks, I'll probably see you later on today. If not, I'll see you tomorrow.